So in my last video, I started a project to remove the roll door on this box truck and to build this solid wall here. I got it all finished and I realized that the video was 45 minutes long. It was really too long, so I cut it in half. And so this is the continuation of that video. The last video, the first part was removing the door. Now this part is building the wall. Well, hey everybody, I'm Bill with Live Simple, Live Free, and like I said, this is really part two of this project where I removed the wall, or removed the door in the last video. Now I'm going to build this wall. So let's pick it up at the point where I'm removing the weather stripping. This is not so easy. There we go. Okay, now I got the rubber weather stripping out of here, but I think I've discovered a better way. I was going to do it like this. The problem is it doesn't sit in there straight. It could rock like that. Also, the rest of the 2x4 studs are going to go this way rather than that way, so it's kind of strange. But then I discovered if I put it in there like this, it's solid. It's got 2 points here and this. I just put one metal self-tapping screw right through there. I had to get a 3-inch screw, but that'll work much better. And then this is going the same way as the rest of the studs in the wall. So I think that'll work. Now for this bottom stringer, I'm using pressure treated wood. For the rest of it, I'm just using regular 2x4s, but there's a chance of more water getting on this one, so I'm using pressure treated. Now this will be laying here, but then this floor comes up about a 1/2 inch. And so I had to rip this down, and this is only 2.5 inches, because if I left the full 3.5, then it would be up at an angle, and I want it to lay flat. So it'll look just like that and go down inside of this. So I'm going to use butyl tape on the bottom of it, and then I'll also use some caulk after I get it installed. Well, this doesn't want to stick, not even a little bit on the wood, so I'll put it down here on the metal. Right there. All right, I got that butyl tape down there. Now I've got one hole here pre-drilled, and then I'm using self-tapping screws. I don't generally like to drill holes in the floor. Stuff I do in here I'll glue down, but for this, I can feel the underside right there. It's not inside the truck there, so I'm going to go ahead and screw these. Yeah, that's nice and tight. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of this screwed in. Now that the tension is off of this spring, this is just loose. So I can just take this out, and that slides right out. So I'm going to take this spring down. So we've got this spring loose, but it's tucked up here behind this brace and I can't get it out. I hate to mess with that because I think that's structural, but it looks like there's a rivet there and there'll be one on the other side. If I can drill those rivets out, then I can pull this down, take that out, and then put a bolt back up in there to strengthen it up again. I guess. I don't know how else to get this out of there. Now this is detached now, and it was probably there to give extra support in the center from that big heavy door. But even with this unattached, this is really solid. I can't move it or shake it at all. And it's going to be in the way of the 2x4, the top stringer. So I'm just going to remove it. And it's just one nut here in the bottom holding it through. So I'm just going to take it out and get it out of my way. So after I got the stringer in down there, continuing to work and plan, I got the weather stripping off of there, and then I realized that not only can I put a screw in this way, but also I can take out some of these bolts and put a screw in this way. So I'll have screws in here and screws coming, it's not standing there, screws coming in here. So that will make it very solid. I'm very happy with that. Also up here, the 2x4 will be running right along here, and I can take out a few of these bolts and put screws in this way as well to hold it. So I'm very happy with that. Finally came up with something that I think is going to work. Now for this, I'll be using a 2-inch hex head screw with a big washer on it, like that. Yeah, that's nice and solid. I don't even know if I need the ones going this way. That's rock solid. So now I've finally got the door out, got the spring and the cables out, and I've got the initial 2x4 attached to the wall. I've been working on this crazy thing for a day and a half. I can't believe it's taken me so long to do this. And I'm not going to lie, it was not fun. I didn't enjoy it. It was so much problem solving and figuring of how I'm going to do all this. Several trial and error efforts that didn't work. But I think I have finally gotten it to where everything is solid, everything is attached well. So now all I have to do is just run 2x4s here, and I'm going to put plywood up on the outside, and these for now just paint it. So from here on out it should go pretty fast. Now I debated for a long time about what size 2x4s to use, or 2x to use for this wall, because a lot of travel trailers and things like that are just, even on the outside walls, are just 2x2s or 2x3s, and this isn't structural, so I could have just used 2x2s, but I've decided to use 2x4s for several reasons. I mentioned in the beginning of this video that I'm going to put a mini split air conditioner here, and it's going to be mounted, the outside unit will be mounted up high on the outside, and then the inside unit will be mounted in here. I also don't have any place to carry my spare tire, which is heavy. I'm going to get a spare tire mount and mount it right here to the wall, and then on the other side I'm going to have some sort of a metal toolbox that I can attach to the outside so that I have places to carry my jacks and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be a fair amount of weight, so that's why I decided to go ahead and use 2x4s. Now I've got all the studs in for the back, and notice this is just going to be a solid wall. Some people may wonder why we're not putting a door in the back like a lot of people do when they convert box trucks. That's because we've got a door in the side right there. As well as the pass-through door, and we really don't need another door. That'll work. That door will work just fine. Now on the bottom here, this is pressure treated lumber, and then right here I have the butyl tape, and then I have it screwed down here. I used self-tapping metal screws to attach this down. But this is where most of the moisture is going to be, so I'm going to want to do some more to make it more waterproof. So I have a piece of flashing here that I'm going to put down, and I'm going to caulk underneath of it, or put that down and then put the plywood down on top of it to help keep the water to run away. I've got the flashing just lying in here, and I want to make a few marks here just so I know to keep the caulk behind the line. Couple of roofing nails just to hold it in place. That'll do nicely. I pre-measured and cut this plywood to fill the hole there. Now I'm not putting all the screws in because all I have is these interior sheetrock screws. I need exterior screws that are treated for the weather. And this is Sunday afternoon, beautiful day after church. I'm finishing this up. And in our small town, none of the hardware stores are open on Sunday. So tomorrow I will get the proper screws and screw it in the rest of the way. So this is the top of this piece of plywood, and I have to butt another piece in to finish that up. So this is a piece of flashing that's designed to go in between there. That'll run the water. The second piece of plywood will go here, and this will run the water off and down this way. This is designed to use basically for like T111 siding when you have a tall wall and you have one stacked on top of another one. This one makes this joint waterproof. Now I have just this one joint left that I need to seal and make watertight between the wood and the metal. I could just caulk it like this and leave it. But I'm actually going to take quarter round molding and press it into the caulk there, the caulk construction adhesive, to give that much more protection. Yeah, that's going to be a good solid waterproof seal. Okay, this wall is done. The only thing it needs now is the paint. So I thought for a long time about what to do about waterproofing and weatherproofing this back wall. I could have used vinyl siding. It would have been okay because it's protected. It's on the back side. It wouldn't be ripped off by the wind while I'm driving. I could have used like wooden shiplap or cedar tongue and groove or something like that. I thought about paint, but I wasn't sure how long that would actually hold up. And then I was watching a channel called Element Life, and Nate was there making a DIY truck camper that he slid into the back of his pickup truck. He made the entire thing out of plywood like this and then painted it with this paint. So I went and looked it up to see what it was he was using, and this is a marine paint that's specifically designed to be waterproof. And I read a lot of the reviews and people that said they used it on that, like on the deck of their boat, and 5 years later it was still perfect. So, you know, that is out in the weather all the time, getting splashed by the waves and of course the rain and the sun. So I thought, well, okay, I'll give this a try. So now a typical gallon of paint for a house costs like 50 bucks. This stuff was 150, so it's really expensive. But I've never used it before, and as I'm putting it on here, it's not what I thought. I expected it to be a thick coating of waterproof something or other, but this is so thin it almost feels more like whitewashing than paint. And I'm not endorsing it, I'm not recommending it, because I don't know how well it works. I've never used it. I'm just showing you what I'm using. And you know, if it doesn't work at any time, I can just put something else on top of this plywood. I can put cedar shakes or any kind of thing like that. But for now, this is the fastest and easiest, and we'll just see how it goes. Well, it's not what I expected, and so far I'm not impressed. I thought it was going to be a heavy rubbery kind of stuff, and it's very, very thin and lightweight. Like I said, it almost feels like whitewash. And I put it in, and there's some places like this where it's just completely soaked in. You can't even tell there's any there. Right here. I don't know, maybe I should have used primer first, but at least I have plenty of this so I can put a second coat or even a third coat on and see what it does. Okay, I did that most unusual thing that most men do not do. I read the directions on the can. It's just paint, right? You know how to put on paint. And it says that you do not need a primer, so I'm good there. And then it says total dry time 6 to 12 hours. I thought, oh my goodness. But it did say you can put second coat on it when it's dry to the touch. 6 to 12 hours was the time before you could walk on it if it was on the deck. So it's been about 3 hours since I did the first coat, and It's now just very slightly tacky, and it's getting dark, so I got to get this done tonight. So this second coat is going on, and it's definitely covering much better. It's looking more like paint and less see-through like whitewash. It's now about 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to do a third coat of paint on the back here. I set up my movie light over there so I can see what I'm doing. The noise that you're probably hearing in the background is the night sound of the frogs in the pond about a half a block away. I don't hear them at all inside, but it always surprises me how loud they are when I come outside again. Anyway, I want to get this done tonight because Dan is going to be coming over tomorrow to help me start mounting that mini split system, and part of it goes on the wall here. But that won't be in this video. That'll be in another video. But I got to get this painted and give it enough time to dry so that he will be able, or so that we will be able to mount the outside portion of the mini split AC on the back wall. All right, third coat finished. So now the back wall is finished, and I finished it just in time because Dan will be coming over today to help me install the mini split air conditioner heat pump system on this back wall. And you know, as you watch the video, that I really wasn't sure what I thought about this paint. Now that I've got 3 coats on it, I really like it. It makes a really heavy-duty rubberized kind of feel, and I can see where the water is just going to slough off of it, so I'm very happy with this paint. So I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for watching. Live simple, live free, you be blessed.